Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to The Early Edge. What a great day it already is. We're 22 days away from NFL season, otherwise known as Doug Martin days away. Drop your favorite 22 in the chat. Moshi is in here, CID, Japan, Brandon Silva, Brad, Big Cheesy, D Johnson. Happy that you're all here. Hit the like button if you could. Let's see how we did yesterday before we bring in the stars of the show. Okay, 3-3. Sniper's been really on fire since the All-Star break. So many 2-0 days from him. He hits a plus money, plus 102, but plus money nonetheless. We're 3-3 overall, a pretty even day, but you count the juice and it's a losing day. So we got to turn that around. We're going to do it with the stars of the show. We're one short today, but no worries. We got a full cast tomorrow and Friday. And oh, by the way, as we see Sniper and the Guru, we've got a 12 o'clock show of The Early Edge, an extended version today at 12 o'clock at noon Eastern Standard Time. The Early Edge will be bringing some of these picks, but we're going to talk a lot more, including model picks with respect to the WNBA. Mackenzie Brooks is going to join us, NFL futures, training camp stories, you name it. It will be there on The Early Edge today at 12. But let's talk about the here and now. Sniper, you got to be feeling good. And Guru, I'll get to you in a second. I feel like you might have just gone to the barber. You're shining today. Like something's going on there. Super handsome today. Sniper, I got to start with you though, because I was kind of hoping, no offense, Guru, I was kind of hoping Buckets was going to be on today's show. He'll be with us later in the week, of course, because you beat him in the showdown and you broke his little streak that he had against me. And I know that if he had won that one yesterday against you, he would have been gloating in such a way that we haven't seen before, because he's never won 3 showdowns in a row, ever.
Yeah, it was never in doubt for me. I mean, I've been on fire since the All-Star. You know, like you said, there's a glow. Well, I have been on fire lately. I also saw, it's on the side, Metallica twice this past weekend. Wow. And the Bears are on Hard Knocks, and I got to watch the Hard Knocks episode. So I'm fired up right now because it is Matt Forte days away from the start of the NFL season.
Yeah, so we see Brad Morris saying Emmitt Smith. Ed Reed, now, Ed Reed was more a 20 than he was a 22, was he not? Ed Reed, of course, the second best safety in the NFL behind, of course, who we're going to talk about tomorrow when we're 21 days away. Martin Green, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you, Sia. We are William Saliba days away from the start of the new English Premier League season, which is two days. Premier League kicks off on Friday. Manchester United versus Fulham at Old Trafford. Going to be a really big game, and just loads of great soccer now for months and months ahead.
Yeah, this is really cool. It's a really good time for soccer. Greatest poet alive says Dave Duerson. I believe that's the Matt Sniper. I believe that's the Bears 85 Bears days, which is such a great shout out. Dave Duerson gets kind of
forgotten. It was between Duerson and Forte for me, and I thought Forte's a lot more recent. So I'm going to have an 85 Bear tomorrow, though.
All right. Joey Logano mentioned by Brian Smith. Speaking of other sports, we've got a lot to bring you on today's show. We got a sports line pick. Of course, we got the Guru's picks, which are going to come up in just a second. Sniper's baseball picks. I've got a golf pick for tomorrow, round 1 matchup that I like, but I'm also going to bring you an NFL play from week 1 that I've already put up on SportsLine. There's already a handful of week 1 games on SportsLine. So you're going to want to go there. I'll tell you how to join if you're not already. I don't know what you're doing if you're not already, because it's an amazing, amazing product. But Martin Green, you're an amazing product as well. You got 2 soccer picks for us. You are gleaming. I know the sun is shining in, but did you just get a haircut? Or like, what's going on? You're looking great today. And I'm not saying you don't look great every other day, but talk to us about that and then give us your 2 picks.
Thank you so much, Sia. I just got a haircut today, so I will pass on your compliments to Beverly, the barber. She did a great job. Thank you. But yeah, my 2 picks are starting with the Super Cup, the European Super Cup, which always features the Champions League winner against the Europa League winner at the start of the new season. And Real Madrid are the European champions, and they're taking on Atalanta, who won the Europa League. Champions League is a far more prestigious competition, so Real Madrid are naturally the clear favourites to win this game, which takes place in Warsaw tonight. I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern. It's often a tight, cagey game, the Super Cup, because it takes place at the start of the season. The players aren't fully fit. However, Real Madrid Real Madrid, did beat Eintracht Frankfurt 2-0 in the Super Cup a couple of years ago. I think they could secure a similar result against Atalanta today. New signing Kylian Mbappe is expected to play. Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham. I just think they should have too much firepower for their opponents. But I don't think it's going to be a particularly high-scoring game. So I've combined Real Madrid money line with under 4.5 goals at odds of -110. While I'm on the show, just looking ahead to the weekend's action, I think that Liverpool should be able to pick up an away win against newly promoted Ipswich Town in the Premier League. Ipswich have made some interesting signings since they were promoted to the top division, but Liverpool are the clear favourites in that one, and I think they should outclass Ipswich. I'm parlaying Liverpool with Burnley, who thrashed Luton 4-1 on the opening weekend of the Championship season. They now have a home game coming up against Cardiff, who lost 2-0 to Sunderland last weekend. I really think that Burnley should get the job done. So if you put Liverpool and Burnley together, you get odds of +105, which looks great to me.
All right. That sounds good to me as well. It also looks good that we've got Larry Hartstein, the maestro, in the chat. We got Danny Brasco in the chat. We got people pointing out King Henry, Derrick Henry, days away from NFL kickoff. Speaking of King Henry, I feel like we didn't get a chance to congratulate the USA Olympic team. What a finish. The last two games, LeBron James, Steph Curry, that was truly amazing. I'm already kind of looking forward to what this team looks like 4 years from now. I wonder if any of these old timers are going to be on that team. Let's transition, though, to a SportsLine pick. And Sniper, I want to get, this isn't your pick, by the way, but I want to get maybe a comment or two if you have any on this one. We got the Padres money line at home. It's Martin Perez on the mound. This is a 4:10 Eastern Standard Time start, by the way. It's not a late game like last night. We got Mitch Keller on the mound against the Pirates. Martin Perez for the Padres, and we like SportsLine likes the Padres money line -135. I have an admission, Sniper, before we get to your comment on this one. So I've been pretty cold in baseball, right? That's saying it generously, which is why I haven't been pumping out a ton of baseball picks week to week. Over the last couple of weeks, just been a cold stretch. But with that said, I looked at this game yesterday and I was like, I kind of like Mitch Keller and the Pirates first 5, like +0.5, because you're still going to get like a decent number on it. Not the full game, but I feel like Martin Perez has been good, but I was kind of like waiting for regression. I think Mitch Keller is a great pitcher, or good pitcher. But if I think that, it probably means the SportsLine pick is right, because I've been cold. So your thoughts on this one? I mean, I don't want you to kill the pick. I don't want you to tell me that like my thought process is great, but your thoughts on this pitching matchup in particular.
One of the reasons I kind of stayed away is because the pitching matchup is better for the Pirates just on paper. Mm-hmm. And Martin Perez with a 5.20 ERA this season, although he did get traded from the Pirates to the Padres, and maybe the change of scenery has helped. He had a good outing his first time out. And Keller has been good, but not great or anything like that. But the Padres are 18-4 since the All-Star break. They've been the best team in baseball. They're at home. The Pirates are in a complete death spiral right now. Don't know how they're going to scrape together that many runs. I assume that's where the SportsLine pick is. And it would not be surprising for the Padres offense to kind of bust loose after laying low a little bit these last 2 nights against Keller, even though he is a good pitcher. So I can see where this one's going for sure.
All right. Like the analysis there. We have so many people. So we got 3 of us on this show. We got the Guru, we got me, we got Sniper, but we have Danny Brasco, Larry Hartstein, and Mike McClure is in the chat as well. And he says he's going to be up and running very, very soon. So we're very, very happy to see him in the chat, but also doing well. Really, really good stuff from the entire group here. That includes all of you, but really nice to see Mike McClure, Danny Brasco, and the Maestro in the chat. All right. If you want to make that SportsLine pick, which again is the Padres money line -135, go to BetMGM. New BetMGM customers can sign up today and get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10 and you'll receive up to $1,500 instantly. If your bet loses with bonus code EDGE, that's bonus code EDGE, EDGE. All right, we got to get to my round 1 matchup tomorrow, which I do quite like. And I've got an NFL Week 1 pick because 22 days away, it's 3 weeks, folks. May as well get a pick out there. We're going to do it all, including Sniper's picks, right after this message from our partners. We're back on the early edge presented by BetMGM. Ali Lonzak, that's a very nice thing of you to say. She says, Sia, you're crushing hosting duties. Of course, I'm going to read that comment here and on HQ. Yeah, yesterday was a super long day. I was kind of all over HQ in the early afternoon, hosted SportsLine, did the early wedge. And then, of course, we do this show. And then I'm going to be hosting the show at 12 o'clock today as well for a full hour. Not that I'm tired, because this is like it's people like Allie and Brian Smith and Mark Hood and David Tock that are always in here kind of cheering us on, giving us your feedback as well, your picks as well, your energy as well. So really, it's very much appreciated. It's very much noticed. And I absolutely love doing this, and I appreciate the compliment there. All right, let's get to my pick. I'll go through these really quick because I've talked a lot already. Round one, head-to-head. This one's actually in the afternoon. It's not an early morning one, but it was my favorite pick. I didn't want to force a morning tea time just because, the early edge starts at 10. Usually I give you something before 10 o'clock. This one's in the afternoon. It's Eric Cole over Patrick Rogers. Listen, if you've noticed Eric Cole, and by the way, this is minus 125, and good news on these head-to-heads, and I think this is going to be consistent through the 3-week playoff. You're going to see across books a lot of these, even the round matchups, which are usually different, you're going to see a lot of consistency. So you'll see this at most of the books. Eric Cole minus 125 over Patrick Rogers. Patrick Rogers, when you look at his finishing positions, they've actually been pretty good. He's been making cuts. He's been doing okay, but he's not really finishing high. Eric Cole, on the other hand, he has really turned his season around. Last year, he was great. The beginning of this year, he was actually pretty terrible. Something changed over the last couple of months, and now he's starting to strike the ball really well. The putter's coming around. When I look at Patrick Rogers in particular, the approach play has really been lacking. He's actually been making these cuts and having decent finishes in spite of losing on approach pretty much every time. I don't think that's going to work here. I love the trajectory. Like, Patrick Rogers is kind of on a flat trajectory, like no trajectory whatsoever. Eric Cole is on an upward trajectory, and I think he's the better golfer anyway. I think he's the better course fit. He has the better experience here. Not more experience, but the better experience here. Eric Cole, round one matchup, minus 125. In some places, this is minus 135. I'd still take it there. Round one matchup. And then I'm just going to go quickly. You can read my write-up on SportsLine under the picks tab if you want. Let's go to NFL week one. I'm big on the Colts this year. I'm kind of wearing Colts colors. I just did a preview for social yesterday on the Colts win total, which is a lot higher than I expected. I think they're live to potentially win this division if they can stay healthy at key positions. They've already got Josh Downs injured. He probably doesn't play week one. Nonetheless, I think this running game takes down the Texans week one. They host the Texans. Texans are a very good football team. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a two-horse race in the AFC South. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be contending in the AFC South like some people think. Anthony Richardson likely to be healthy. Jonathan Taylor likely to be healthy. The interiors on both sides of the ball, the offensive line and the defensive line, I think are better than people think. And I think we're going to see a game plan where we run the ball kind of like the Ravens did against the Texans when they embarrassed them last year, not comparing the two teams, but I think you're going to see the same style of play. I really like Shane Steichen going into this game, putting a stamp on this season saying, hey, we're here too. We got a shot at this one too. Healthy Anthony Richardson, healthy JT, hopefully healthy at the receiver position. Give me the Colts money line plus 110. All right. That's an NFL pick for you. 22 days early, or actually in this case, 25 days early because they're going to be playing on a Sunday. Can't wait for that slate. There's a golf pick for you. And Sniper, we've kept you quiet a little too long. You've been hot. I'm not trying to jinx it. Like, I feel like it's 2-0 or 1-1, but most of the time it feels like it's been 2-0 and you've been carrying the group. We've been having a lot of winning days and it's a result of you going 2-0 a lot. So no pressure here. What are the Sniper picks today?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the pressure because there's no such thing as a jinx. I'm a Cubs fan. I could never believe in jinxes. And guess what? They won the World Series in 2016. I'm going to go with plus money Brewers at home over the Dodgers in this one. The Dodgers have really kicked their teeth in the first two games in the series, so I could understand why there might be reluctance on this, but it's really tough to beat a really good team 3 times in a row at home. In fact, the Brewers haven't lost 3 straight to any team this season except in Philadelphia when the Phillies were at the height of their powers. So a little chance for a bounce back here on plus money. The aptly named Walker Buehler is returning to the hill for the Dodgers. He's been issuing free passes left and right on his minor league rehab assignment. With the control issues, it helped push his ERA to 6.39 in his 3 rehab starts. He just hasn't been right since Tommy John surgery. So this is a good spot for a good Brewers offense to get back on track. Frankie Montas on the hill for the Brewers. He has felt a little rejuvenated since he got traded to them. And all the good bullpen pitchers for the Brewers are rested because they've lost 3 games in a row. So it's a good spot for the Brewers to get back on track here with the plus money at home, as I said. Also, I'm going to go with the Giants in the nightcap here. Back-to-back extra inning losses to the Braves at home, but they're still 35-26 at home. They're a very good home team. I don't think they're going to get beat 3 times in a row by this Braves lineup that is basically incredibly top-heavy. The back half is terrible. Even Matt Olson is having a lost year. Robbie Ray on the mound for the Giants, a good spot for him to throw really well tonight. Grant Holmes on the mound for the Braves hasn't gone more than 5 innings this year. Plus, I don't know about that Braves bullpen before Raisel Iglesias, and he threw 2 innings 2 nights ago and 1 inning last night. He might not even be available tonight. I like the Giants to get the W on a pretty low number here for them being favorites. Also in the chat, I was asking about Nationals over 3.5 team total. That's against Dean Kramer of the Orioles. He's got knocked around a lot recently. Probably a pretty good spot there. And I was asking about Cole Reagans over 6.5 strikeouts against the Twins. The Twins are a lower third strikeout team. They've seen Reagans twice already this year. He did go over 6.5 on both of those, but I just wonder if with the Twins being at home, they haven't struck out a ton lately, and they've seen him already twice, so they know what his stuff looks like in the box. I'm a little shaky on that one.
All right. Love that you're hitting up some of the comments in the chat. Eric David mentioning the Fantasy Football Today Open, which there's still a couple spots left in my league. If you want more information about that, go ahead and message me or tweet at me. I think there's a couple spots left open. It's a big donation to St. Jude's, but the Fantasy Football Today crew has raised a ton of money over the years. Just with this FFT Open, they're going to raise $33,000. Just with that, that's a small portion of what's going to be raised for this entire month going into fantasy football draft season. So check that out. Let me know if you need more information about that. Sniper, love the plays. Martin, before we get to the recap screen, anything that you saw in the chat that you needed to address from a soccer standpoint?
No, nothing too much. Jeff was asking about the Plymouth versus Cheltenham game, which is a EFL Cup game. Plymouth really should win because they're considerably ahead of Cheltenham in the English soccer pyramid. But Wayne Rooney's their manager, and they lost 4-0 at the weekend, so I'm not really sure I can trust them right now. I think they should win, but I'm not sure how comfortably they'll get the job done. So I'm staying away from that one. Now, everyone just looking forward to the European Super Cup and Premier League starting. Should have lots more picks in the weeks ahead.
All right. Absolutely love it. And shout out to Rick Funcannon, who did hit. He was in the chat here. He said Reds -1.5 yesterday. That one hit at +152. Sniper, go ahead.
Cleveland fan in the chat said, Sniper, pick a random batter to hit a home run today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He hit one last night. He's been in an absolute heater these last couple months. Tyler Anderson, lefty on the mound for the Angels. He can be somewhat homer prone. He's been a lot worse at home this season. So I'll run with Vlad.
All right. Vlad Guerrero, Sniper, man of the people, just flagging down everything in the chat, which we absolutely love. Let's take a look at the recap screen before we get out of here. I've got that NFL pick, which again, we're a few weeks away from, but I took the Colts money line +110. This is also to apprise you of the fact that SportsLine is already pumping out futures and picks going into the season. So you want to get to SportsLine to catch all that content, including the team-by-team previews, which have been up for a few weeks now. That's how you want to get educated going into the season. I've got a FedEx St. Jude Championship Round 1 play tomorrow afternoon. Eric Cole, -125 over Patrick Rogers. I'll play it up to -135. Real Madrid, money line, and the under 4.5 at -110 is one of 2 plays for Martin Green. The other, Liverpool money line plus Burnley money line at +105. Sniper, Brewers money line +105. Giants money line -115. And a SportsLine pick this afternoon, Padres money line -135. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a great show. We were down 1, but we had everybody in the chat, including Mike McClure, Danny Brasco, and Larry Hartstein. So happy that they're here. We'll have a full cast, of course, tomorrow on the Early Edge. And don't forget, we'll be doing the Early Edge in, about an hour and 39 minutes on CBS Sports Network. That's how you can watch it today at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. What a great show. Good luck, gang, says Danny Brasco. Absolutely love to hear that. Good luck indeed. Let's cash some tickets on behalf of Jake the Snake on the 1s and 2s, on behalf of everybody in the chat, including the 3 I just mentioned, and of course the Sniper and the Guru. This is the Early Edge. Let's have a great day. Let's stay positive. Let's cash some tickets too. I'm the Counselor of Cash. We rest our case.